Well, we're talking to Stephen Moore about this. He is a senior economic contributor at FreedomWorks. Stephen, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
So what should folks expect? I mean, national gas price today, $3.57, $2.68. This is the national gas price average. It was $2.68 last year at this time, $3.57 now. That's a pretty substantial increase in a year's time. Will the price go up if the current trends hold? And how much do you think they could go up?
Well, currently the price of oil in the international markets is somewhere around $100 a barrel. It's been floating around between $95 and $105 a barrel. So that's the equivalent in a week or two of gas being closer to $4 a gallon. And then if you're in New York or California, I'm sorry, you're probably looking at $5 a gallon gasoline. And so, yeah, there will be clearly a hit from the Russian invasion of Ukraine. But something really interesting happened yesterday when the invasion started, where the stock market fell by 800 points and the price of oil went up well above $100 a barrel. And then Joe Biden gave his speech. And what was interesting about that speech, he talked about the toughest sanctions ever. Well, they really weren't so tough. And he basically said, well, we're not going to put sanctions on Russian oil and gas. And so then the price of oil fell because that meant the supply would continue, and Wall Street loved that. The problem is, if you want to really put the hurt to Russia and punish them for invading Ukraine, you have to go after their energy sector. And Biden chafed at that. And so now you've got a situation where the stock market actually rallied, but what is this going to do about, the situation in Ukraine? They are penalties without any teeth. And so I do think we're going to see an increase in the gas price, but this means that this crisis could go on a lot longer.
So do you think that there's a way right now that the Biden administration could actually have some effect on what the price of gas is? Because in his speech, he said just yesterday, he'll do everything he can to try to ameliorate, mitigate the pain that we may feel at the pump. I mean, here's a reporter who asked Jen Psaki in the West Wing, hey, is Biden rethinking, basically just being hostile toward energy production as a general policy matter? Here's how that exchange went, Steve.
Would he try to ensure that by lifting some of the restrictions that he's put in place on the energy industry, or rethinking some projects like the Keystone Pipeline?
Well, first of all, the Keystone Pipeline is not flowing, so I'm not sure how that would solve anything. If there's an invasion of another country by a big country, there's going to be impacts on the markets, right? And we certainly anticipated that, and we anticipate that as it relates to the global oil market as well. So that's why the president for weeks now has been engaging with a range of big global suppliers, some in the Middle East, others, to see what we can do to ensure there's supply out there in the market to reduce the impact on the American people.
So are they kind of coming around to drill, baby, drill, as we used to say here? Do you think they're going to start to change their tune a little bit on this one, Stephen?
So, it's important for people to understand what's going on here. Okay, here's the real story. Joe Biden came into office 13 months ago, and he declared war on American energy. So we reduced our oil and gas output. We've reduced our oil output by about 2 million barrels a day. And then we've discontinued these pipelines that are necessary to transport it. They put all sorts of regulations on LNG terminals, which are necessary so that we can export the oil and gas. Well, who do you think all of that benefited?